Great people, welcome to NameTech channel. My name is Nehemiah and this is lesson 9 on Django, and we are going to discuss Django admin. I'll teach you how to create user, how to include models, how to set list display, how to update members, how to add members, and also how to delete members. But then before that, we are going to discuss how to add a test view. And guys, basically when testing this different aspect of Django, it can be a good idea to have somewhere to test code without destroying the main project. And this one is optional, but if you like to follow every step in this tutorial, I'll urge you to do that, to add the test view, and that is like exactly like what I'm gonna teach you in a few. So let's start by adding a view called perhaps testing in the view.py in these members, and then at the views we're gonna add in another view. We shall call it testing. I don't know what the name you'll give it, but then here let me give it let me define it as a testing. So define it. I'm gonna give it a class of testing, and then I'm gonna pass in a request, and then what we do, let's close with a colon here, and then what we do, let me create now this. Let me say template. Sorry, should be template. It should be template. Then let me assign it to loader. Dot get template, and then I can give it basically I can give it a template.html, or let me do this. Let me first of all open and close the rounded brackets. Then let me say perhaps templates. I'm gonna create this a template basically template dot html. I'll create this a template in a few, and then the context, let me give it let me say context let me assign it to, and there's a dictionary here. Let me say the key, let me give it a perhaps something like a fruits. You can give it another name, and then the value, perhaps let me say, let me give it a list, a list of fruits. Perhaps let me begin with apple, and then also let me say, sorry, a comma should be after the quotation. Then let me say something like banana. Again, the other thing is the other fruit I can give it is perhaps cherry. It's cherry, and then you close with the colon, actually a comma here at the end. Then let's now add in the return what function here. So let me say return. We're gonna return the HTTP response, and then to template. Sorry, template dot render. So it will render. So render should be render. Then context. Let me pass in a context, and then also the request should render the context in the request. So basically we have added that view called testing. Now let's navigate to the URL. Guys, basically we have to make sure that the incoming URLs to testing will be redirected to the testing view, and this one is done in the urls.py in this section here at the urls.py. In this folder of mine, of which it is member, actually the members the members app. Now here let's add in what the path. Then I'm gonna call it first of all let me say path, then should be path. Then here let me pass in what, first of all I should redirect it to testing. So let me say testing, and then the forward slash, and then comma here. Let me add in a comma, and then what I do, let me say view, views dot testing, and then comma, and then also let's say the name, let's give it name, let's give it should be name, and then let me assign it to testing, like this. Then let's add in a comma here at the end. So what we do, guys, let's now create now the test template. So guys, basically we also need we need a template where we can play around with the HTML and the Django code. Perhaps guys, basically it seems there is an error somewhere, because I can see it is underlined like this. So I think there's an error somewhere here. So let's check the code very well. Oh guys, basically here at the end should be a comma. I forgot to add a comma, that's why you can see there's an error there. So guys, basically as you realize in the views, we added these templates.html, but then we had not created that template. So to create a template, let's create now the template called the HTML. So the templates, and then let's create now that a template. Perhaps you can call it a template. Remember in the views we define it as a template. So let's say template.html, and then here these are template.html. I can create some HTML tags and some Django tag in it, and then here and at the title, guys, basically, or rather, let me just say Django tutorial here at the title. Let me just say Django tutorials, and then here at the body, let's create some Django tag. Remember, Django tag is defined using the braces, percentage, and then let me say for x in fruits, for x in fruits, then close it, percentage symbol. Then let's add in a h1 tag and the heading 1 tag, and let me perhaps get some more indentation there. Then let me create a h1, and then in this h1 I'm gonna use the Django tag, and then let me say what in this Django tag, let me say let me pass in x, and then also let me create some space there, and then also let's now end what let me remove our indentation there, and then open the braces, and then let's type in percentage, and then end for just like a HTML tag. When you have a start tag and the end tag, for Django also you have the start tag and the end tag. So this is the start tag, and then you must always do it have the end tag like that. And then perhaps let's create some brief description or a paragraph. Then let me say use a paragraph tag, and then let me say perhaps in view dot py, let me say you can see you can see what the fruit, what the fruits variable look like. You can see what the fruit variable should be look like, and then or you can just write anything there. Then guys, basically in the server, basically if the server is not running on your end, navigate to your project directory. I'm assuming everything is okay. So let me navigate to my project directory. Then mine is at the desktop. Then open it. Then let's activate the virtual environment by typing cmd first of all to open the terminal. And then let's type in scripts, and then backslash, then activate.bat, then hit enter to activate the virtual environment. Then here type in py manage .py, then run server, and then let's activate that virtual environment. Actually, let's open the server. Then let me copy the URL here, the URL. Then let me go to my browser, and then what I do, let me paste it there. Remember, these are 127.0.0.1 is the alias for local host. Then this 8000 is the port. Now you basically can change the port number, but then let me use just this default one. And then here let's run the code and see. Let me try to zoom in. And then guys, let me add in the backslash, the forward slash basically. And then here let me type in, it was testing, right? Testing view, testing. And then what we do, let's hit enter, and then again basically you can see that it's now functioning. So it's always good to have the testing section for your project, so that you may have some coding for testing, so that it may not affect your entire project. So guys, basically today we were to tackle Django admin, and Django admin is a really great tool in Django. It is usually a CRUD user interface of all the models, and CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete. And it is free, and comes ready to use with Django. So guys, basically to get started for that, ensure that your server is running, like in our case it's functioning. And what you do, let's add in an extension here of admin instead of testing. Let's add in admin here, the URL, and then hit enter. So it will give you this administration section. Let me try to zoom in so that you can see very well. So guys, basically the reason why this URL goes to the Django admin, actually admin login page, can be found on the urls.file, actually url.py, and on your project. Basically these are main project, and then guys, basically you can see sorry, it should be at the tutorials. Sorry, not scripts. It should be at the tutorials, and then urls.py. So guys, basically you can see the URL pattern list text request going to admin, as you can see here, and send them to admin.site.urls. You can see here, which is part of the built-in application that comes with Django, and contain a lot of functionality and user interface. One of them being the login user interface. So guys, basically I want to show you how to create the user. So what we are going to do here, guys, here, go to your terminal. First of all, let's stop the server by clicking on Control plus break, or Control plus C to break the the process, or the server. And then here we are going to type in this command basically to create a user. We are going to type in py manage. Basically guys, we can find all the commands by typing Django underscore admin. You're going to find all the commands in this Django. So guys, basically this is how you can find all the command. But then in our case, let's use this command here. Type in py manage. Sorry, manage.py, and then here let's say create super user. Let me say create super user, and then what we are gonna do, guys, let's do it. Let's hit enter. Hit enter, and then what we do here, you must enter the username, email address. So you can just pick a fake email address just for the sake of tutorial in the password. So and the username you can see by default is Nehemiah Wekesa, or rather I can give it let me just say guys, basically let me use something like Abigail Cherotich, and then you do it hit enter, and then for username we can say perhaps let me use name tag. Let me just say name tag. You can give it any other username. Let me say name tag, and then I do it hit enter, and then email address I can say perhaps let me use admin at nametech nametech.com. Then a password I can give it any. So what we do, guys, again let's run the server by typing py, then manage.py, and then let me say run server by typing run server, and then here what we do, let's hit enter so that it may open the server, and then again let's try to do it to refresh the the browser. Let me refresh. First of all, refresh, and then what you do here, the username was nametech, right? And then the password was and then guys, basically, or let me just save it. Then let me zoom out. And then guys, basically you'll have this kind of a page. Now here you can create, read, update, and delete groups and the users, but where is the members model? That's the great question to ask ourselves. Where's the members model? So guys, basically you can see there's a missing model. The members model is missing as it should be, and you have to tell Django which model that should be visible in the admin interface. So let's do it. Let's now talk about how to include a member. So guys, basically to include member in the admin interface, we have to tell Django that the model should be visible in the admin interface, and this one is done in a file called admin.py, and it's located in your apps folder, which is in our case in the members. Let me get there. The members. You can see I have this folder here called members. Then you can see that we have admin.py here, admin.py. So just open it, and then you should have these empty stuffs here. So insert a couple of lines here to make the member model visible in the admin page. So what we do, first of all, register your models, and then first of all, guys, let that first line of code remain the way it is. Then here, or perhaps let me just remove this comment so that it may not confuse anyone. And then let me say from to define the same directory, let me use dot, and then let me say models, and then import. Let me say import member. That's our model, and then to register now the new member, I'm gonna, or let me just add in the comment register 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 your models. Register your models. Let me make it a comment by typing control and then the backslash to make it a comment. And then here, let me add in the model. Let me say admin. Dot site. Admin dot site dot register. Dot register, and then I'm gonna pass in what? Member. Then guys, basically let's go to the browser, and then let's try to do it. Let's refresh. And then guys, basically you can see that now members is available in our site, basically in our admin interface. So what we do here, let's click on the members. Where is it? Let's click on the members, and then guys, basically you can see that we have these members here, of which there are the 6 items there. And then we can change the display. Basically guys, in these lists, in this screen that you can see, in this display here, you can see that we have member object 1, member object 2 to member object 6. Basically it has begun from the top. Now basically it would be better to display first name perhaps in the last name instead of this member whatever. So this one is this can be easily done by changing some of the settings in the models.py and or basically the admin.py files. And what we do, let me show you how to set the fields in basically the fields to display. So to change this to more reader friendly format, we have two choices. Basically, the first choice is to change the string representation function of the master model, and the second option is to set the list basically the list details property of the members model. So what we do, let's change the string representation function. Now basically to change the string representation, we have to define the string function of the members in the members model in the models.py. What we do, let's navigate there to the members. Here it is, members app, and then I navigate to the models models.py, and then what we do, let's now use here another function. Let me say we are going to define here a function, and is a string str for string. Sorry, it should be a self. And then here perhaps let me just change it to, let me close here. Let me close it here, and then what I do here, return. And then let me just change this stuff so that it may not confuse you. Then let me type in f, and then let me do it. Let me create these quotation marks. Then here let me create the braces, and then perhaps let me say self. So sorry, should be a self dot a first name, and then again let's create another one for last name. For last name, we are gonna say first of all, open the braces. Then let me say self dot last name, dot last name, like this. And then what we do, let's navigate to what to our browser. Then let's refresh, and then guys, basically you can see it's now displaying what? It's now displaying the names instead of object whatever. Now guys, basically defining our own string function is not basically a Django feature. It is how to change the string representation objects in Python, in general. So let's set the list display. We can control the fields to display by specifying them in the list display property in the admin file. Basically this one is another option. But then first of all, we must create a member admin class, and specify the list display list display tuple. Like let me show you guys. Let me navigate there. Go to the members, then admin.py, and then here we are gonna say what, let's say let me say admin dot site dot register. Here should be admin. Sorry, it should be admin. It should be admin.site.register, and then you're gonna register. Let me say member. Let me say what? Let me say member. Let me say a member, and then also let's create. Let's do it. Let's create a class here, member class. Let me say what? Let me create a member admin. Let me say member admin. Admin, basically member admin. Basically, this is our class, and then what we do. Remember to add the member admin as an argument. Here at the top, let me just see what. Let me create first of all the class. Here at the top, let me create the class. Let me say class. I'm gonna give it member admin. Member admin, and then also open and close the rounded brackets. Then let me call it admin. Let me pass in admin. Admin dot model admin dot model admin dot model admin, and then I always close with the colon, and then here guys, basically in this next line of code, let me say what, let me just say list display, and then I'm gonna assign it to the first name. Open and close the rounded brackets. Then let me say first name. Let me say first name. Let me pass in the first name, and then also let me pass in what? Let me pass in last name. Last name. Let me say last name, and then perhaps join underscore date, and then also remember to add a comma here at the end. And then what we do, let me now remove this one because it seems like we are repeating ourselves. Let me just remove this model here. So guys, basically I forgot, here should be joined date like this. Then what else? Before we refresh the browser, admin.site.register, then member here, and also member admin. So I think it should work. What you do, let's try to refresh and see if there will be an or not. So guys, first of all, let's check if the server is running here, and then here what we do, you can see that it said the member is already registered in an app called member. So what we do, guys, what we do, first of all, let me try to do it. Let me break and then let me try again to run the server. Let me say py manage.py, and then let me say what? Let me say run server, and then let me hit enter so that it may run the and then again, basically you can see it's now working. It is now working, very very beautiful. So guys, basically this is how you can do it. This is how you can set the list display so that it may be appropriate. So guys, basically we can now update members we are now able to create, update, and delete members in our database in the set. And basically, we start by giving them all a date for when they became members. So guys, basically what we do, let's click on the first member. Let's choose this guy, Ronald Juma, and then what we do, let's give him a joined date. Joined date, perhaps let me say something like he joined on something like let me say 2020, let me say 2022 on September, or let me use this one. Then let me say perhaps on date 20. For number, I can say perhaps 0752, whichever number it is. Then I do it. Click on the save, and then it's now the member Ronald Juma was changed successfully. Then guys, basically now you can see it is updated. So let's do the same for other people too as well. So let's go to Eliud, and then to the Eliud, let's give him the number like 089 whatever, and then I joined the date. Let me give him this one, but then this one, let me say 121. Then let me do it. Let me save, and then for John, let's say perhaps let me say 097, whichever value. Then for join date, let me give him 22. Then let me do it. Let me save, and then it's updated. Then for Mercy and Bio, let me again do it. Give her whichever value it is. For this just for the sake of tutorial. Then for date, let me give her 23rd. Then I do it save, and then for Abigail Chirotich, let me click on her, and then I do it. Let me give her something like any value, and then I join date. I can say perhaps 24th. Then I click on save. Save, and then it's now updated. So guys, basically this is how you can do it. This is how you can update members table, so our members model. Now guys, let me now show you how to do it, how to add members. Now guys, to add new members, you can click on add members here at the top, add member at the top, and then you can just say perhaps first name. You can say perhaps, let me say something like Gideon. Gideon Simiyu. Phone number, let me give him something like 0765432190, whatever. Then a join date, let me give him 25th, and then do it. Let me click on save and add. Let me click on save and close. Or you can choose to save and add another member. You can also save and continue editing. So let me save. And it is now updated in our database. So guys, basically this is how you can do it. This is how you can add what? This is how you can add members. So now guys, basically to delete members. To delete a new member, you can either select a member and choose the action delete, or perhaps let me just click on let me choose perhaps Nehemiah Wekesa. Let me choose Nehemiah. Let me delete Nehemiah Wekesa. You can select a person. Then I can see there's an option to do it. Let me zoom in. You can see there's an option to do it, to delete the members. When you delete, and then you can see, let me zoom out a bit. Are you sure you want to delete the member Nehemiah Wekesa? All of the following items will be deleted. You can see and then let me say yes, I'm sure. Then I do what, click on it, then it's now done. It's now deleted. So guys, basically this is how you can do it. This is how you can delete member in our database. So guys, basically this is all about the Django admin that we wanted to show you, and I'm very sure you've gained something. So this is what I wanted to show you, and I think you've gained something. Please now consider subscribing, like and share this video to your friends. And to the returning subscribers, I really appreciate you very much for your continuous support. Until next time, this is Nehemiah. Goodbye.